Um, I had bought an Aristocraft 2882 Mallet in G scale. It's a $1,300 engine. I had worked I'd done a lot of around the neighborhood jobs, finally trying to get a hold of one, and I got one, and I was so proud of it. I was so proud of it. I mean, I was just tickled to death with it, you know. I had worked really hard, I had accomplished something, and I mean, I was tickled to death. I mean, I cleaned it with, you know, Q-tips, and, you know, after every time I ran it. I mean, I was taking that good care of it. Well, Leonard Shaner was like, hey, I've got one in Southern Railroad paint, or Seaboard. It was Southern or Seaboard, one of them two. Started with an S. And that's a home railroad. Mine was lettered in Baltimore and Ohio, and I didn't kind of like that, but he's like, oh, and it's got Phoenix sound in it, and it's got, you know, these quantum speakers that I put in there myself, and it's got all this, and he sent me a picture of one. Just one picture. Just the one image. Just one. Everybody say it with me. Just one. One image. Looking back on it now, I found that picture on Google. So, yeah. But anyway. He kept, he's like, yeah, you want to trade? I'm like, I don't know, man. I take pretty good care of this engine, and I don't know. And then he goes, well, I'll throw in a G-scale GP7. And I'm like, I don't know. Who made the GP7? It was made by USA Trains. I don't know. I kind of like what I got. I'll just stick with it. That was much better. Anyway, I was like, yeah, I like what I got. I'll just stick with it. No need to change. Whatever. And one day I was like, I was finally curious. You know, I was like, well, you know, he's offering quite a lot of stuff. The monetary thing. His engine's got more gear on it than mine. He says it's in better mechanical condition. I was naive, I'll admit it. And he goes, so you still thinking about that trade? I'm like, yeah, can I see some more pictures of it? And he goes, well, I just put it back in the box, and I don't really want to get it out, but I can send you a picture of the box. So he sends me a picture of the box. It's not the box for the engine. It's a box for something else. It's just an Aristocraft box. On like one of them white backgrounds they use on eBay. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like when you don't want to take a picture of it on your shelf because it looks shitty, you lay a sheet and then you get some lights and put them up here and make it look pretty. And I start to suspect fuckery is afoot. And I kind of just said, yeah, you know what, I think I'm just going to keep mine. Mine shorted out a week later, but it broke, but oh well. Oh, shit. Now, let's see. There's something else about oh, yeah. Lynn being a pedophile. That was the other thing. The other big story that I had. I have a good friend of mine. I have a good friend. I'm really great with grammar. This is why I don't type. I had a good friend of mine who decided he was going to go talk to Lynn. Well, this was before the farms, but kind of after some of the Reading and Northern shitstorms. So Lynn was kind of getting a reputation outside of his PA sphere, but he hadn't gone global yet. And John, at that time, looked a lot younger than he was. He looked 12. I mean, he was just really skinny, and, you know, his voice was real, like, up here. And, you know, you get where this is going, kind of. It gets better. Well, he gets to start talking to Lynn, because this kid came up in the Bible Belt, right? And he's trained to believe in his mind that everybody is innocent and everybody is a good person. He's like, oh, Lynn can't be that bad. And I kept telling him, Lynn is that bad. John, you need to not go near him. Just stay away. Stay away, buddy. He's toxic. Just don't. Well, you know, it goes on for a couple of weeks, him having conversations with Lynn. And so I finally asked him one day, John must have been about 14 or 15. He couldn't have been older than that. Because I met him at the museum in Chattanooga when he was 13 or 14, something like that. But like I said, he looked like he was 12, because he's just skinny. He hadn't quite hit puberty yet. He was, you know, yeah. He had to have a parent with him to buy a T-rated game, basically. You know, he's that young, right? Well, I asked him. I said, well, how's that going? How's it going for you? He said, oh, it's going real good. I said, oh, really? He goes, yeah. He's like, Lynn's gonna send me some stuff in the mail. I'm like, okay. Well, what's he gonna send you in the mail, John? He goes, oh, did you know that he works for Norfolk Southern as their photographer? I'm like, is that what he told you? He goes, yeah, he does, dude. He showed me, like, his vest and all this other stuff. I'm like, you mean a Norfolk Southern branded vest I can buy on eBay for $15? And he didn't say anything to that, but he said, yeah, dude, he's legit. He works for Norfolk Southern. I'm like, no, he doesn't, John. No, he doesn't. He goes, well, he's going to send me some really cool stuff. I'm like, well, what's he going to send you? He's like, oh, he's going to send me a train horn and like a reverser. And a reverser is a thing that is used in a locomotive to put the locomotive either into forward or reverse. When it's in neutral, you take it out and it essentially locks the locomotive. It's like taking the gear shift out of a car. He goes, oh, he's going to send me all this stuff. And sorry, I think I broke it. Broke it again. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, y'all. Try not to let that shit happen, but kind of fucked it up. All right, cool. All right. What was the last thing y'all heard about the John story? I know we got to how old he was, but how much beyond that did y'all hear? Okay. Essentially, good. Okay. Right. I asked him, you know, what did he want? And he said, oh, he ain't asked me for nothing yet. So I said, okay, well, that's a little bit odd, but alright, maybe Shaner's turned over a new leaf or something. Maybe. It's kind of hard to get through, y'all. Give me a minute. John came back to me a couple days later. And He came back a couple days later, and he said, well, I blocked Lynn. I said, okay, what brought that on there, young man? And he said, well, Lynn got a little bit weird. I said, John, are you okay? He goes, not really. I said, well, I mean, what'd he do? Did he scare the shit out of you or something? He said, no, he tried to get me to send him some pictures. I'm like, it didn't hit me right away. I said, well, what do you mean pictures? I mean, was he trying to get you to send pictures of something down at the museum you work at or something? He said, no, he's trying to get me to send pictures of my butt. I'm like, okay, well, this just went out of my ballpark. You need to go tell your parents. He goes, well, I can't really do that. I said, you didn't. He goes, no, I didn't. I said, well, then why can't you tell your parents? He said, because Lynn said that if I ever told anybody that he would blackball me from the railroading world because he knew enough people to do it. John doesn't like trains anymore. John doesn't do much anymore. He just kind of sits in his room and plays Xbox. Nessa, you've played with him before. I know you have. But, yeah. That's one of the reasons I really don't like Shaner, is he mentally fucked a friend of mine. And it doesn't sound like he did much, but John was already a little bit off, and it just broke him, I guess. I mean, that's all there really is to it. So, you know, guys, I tell you, when I post this shit on the forums, I'm not posting it because I want attention. I'm not posting it because I want to get noticed, and I'm sure as hell not posting it just to make Shaner look bad. You want to know why I post all this shit? It's because I want to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. I want to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody else. And I know he's more than capable of doing it, and I'm pretty goddamn sure he'd do it again, too. I can't and won't let that happen. And the only thing that I can really do is badmouth him on Kiwi Farms, and that's perfectly fine by me, because at the end of the day, y'all, I hope like hell any museum that ever goes to allow him to work on their stuff, I hope they Google his fucking name, and I hope the goddamn Kiwi thread is the first fucking thing that shows up. Because I want them to read that shit. I want them to read that shit, and I want them to tell him to get on down the road. There's a guy named David Pugh, DAVIDPUGH, who used his authority over little boys at the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum in Chattanooga, Tennessee, to rape them. One of them even in the cab of a locomotive. Tweaker? What the fuck are you on about?